Perfection. It's a word that sings to our deepest desires. It promises a life free from criticism, a life of admiration and envy. We imagine a perfect life filled with flawless achievements, unblemished relationships, and a constant state of inner peace. The pursuit of perfection, however, is often a mirage. This relentless chase for flawlessness can leave us feeling inadequate, stressed, and perpetually dissatisfied. It's a journey fraught with hidden costs, impacting our mental well-being, relationships, and overall happiness. Imagine a musician striving for the perfect note, a writer agonizing over the perfect sentence, or an athlete pushing for the perfect performance. While ambition can be a powerful motivator, the relentless pursuit of an unattainable ideal can be detrimental. The human experience is inherently imperfect. We all make mistakes, face setbacks, and experience vulnerabilities. Perfectionism, however, sets an impossibly high bar, leaving little room for these natural and necessary aspects of life. This constant striving for flawlessness can fuel a relentless cycle of self-criticism and negative self-talk. The inner critic becomes a harsh judge, magnifying every perceived shortcoming and minimizing every accomplishment. This relentless self-scrutiny can contribute to anxiety, depression, and a pervasive sense of inadequacy. It can also lead to procrastination as the fear of failure becomes paralyzing. Perfectionism doesn't just impact our relationship with ourselves, it also affects our connections with others. When we hold ourselves to impossible standards, we often extend those same expectations to those around us. We may become overly critical of our partners, friends, and family members, leading to strained relationships and emotional distance. This constant judgment can create an environment of fear and resentment, pushing loved ones away. Perfectionists often struggle to ask for help, fearing that it will expose their perceived flaws and imperfections. This can lead to isolation, burnout, and a sense of being overwhelmed. While perfectionism is often rooted in personal beliefs and experiences, societal pressures play a significant role in perpetuating this unattainable ideal. From a young age, we are bombarded with images of perfect bodies, perfect lives, and perfect achievements. Social media, in particular, has become a breeding ground for comparison and self-doubt. We are constantly exposed to carefully curated versions of reality, leaving us feeling inadequate and envious. The pressure to conform to these unrealistic standards can be immense, fueling anxiety, low self-esteem, and a constant sense of not being good enough. Section 5. Embracing imperfection. The key to liberation and growth. Breaking free from the clutches of perfectionism requires a fundamental shift in perspective. It's about embracing imperfection as an inherent part of the human experience and recognizing that our flaws are not failures, but rather opportunities for growth. This shift begins with cultivating self-compassion, treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a close friend. It's about silencing the inner critic and replacing negative self-talk with words of encouragement and acceptance. Embracing imperfection also means challenging the unrealistic standards that society often imposes. It's about defining success on our own terms based on our values, passions, and aspirations. Section 6. Finding freedom in flaws, celebrating authenticity. Our imperfections are not something to be ashamed of, but rather something to be celebrated. They are what make us unique, interesting, and relatable. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and authentic, we open ourselves up to deeper connections with others. Imagine a world where we embrace our quirks, celebrate our mistakes as learning opportunities, and admire the courage it takes to be perfectly imperfect. This is a world where we can finally breathe, where we can let go of the need to prove ourselves and simply be. Section 7. The power of self-compassion, nurturing a kinder inner voice. Self-compassion is essential in the journey toward embracing imperfection. It involves treating ourselves with the same kindness, concern, and understanding that we would offer to a good friend. It's about recognizing that we are all works in progress, deserving of love and acceptance, especially from ourselves. When we cultivate self-compassion, we create a safe haven within ourselves, a place where we can be vulnerable, make mistakes, and learn without the fear of harsh judgment. This inner sanctuary allows us to grow evolve, and embrace the fullness of our imperfect selves. Section 8. Redefining success, shifting our focus from external validation. Often our pursuit of perfection is driven by a desire for external validation. We strive for flawlessness to gain approval, recognition, and a sense of worthiness. This external focus, however, leaves us feeling empty and perpetually inadequate. True fulfillment comes from aligning our actions with our values and pursuing goals that are personally meaningful regardless of external outcomes. It's about finding joy in the process, celebrating our efforts, and recognizing that our worth is inherent, not contingent upon external validation. Section 9. A journey toward wholeness, embracing our authentic selves. The journey toward embracing imperfection is a lifelong process, one that requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to challenge deeply ingrained beliefs. It's about letting go of the need to control every aspect of our lives and embracing the beauty of spontaneity and imperfection. It's about recognizing that true strength lies not in flawlessness, but in our ability to be vulnerable, to learn from our mistakes, and to rise above our challenges with grace and resilience. This is the path to living a more authentic, meaningful, and ultimately more fulfilling life. It's a journey toward wholeness, toward embracing all aspects of ourselves, imperfections and all.